The hum of the fluorescent lights was a familiar lullaby in the quiet hospital corridor as the night shift began. I'm Dr. Lana Pierce, and for years, these long, endless nights have been my sanctuary, a predictable rhythm of emergencies and silences. But tonight felt different. A subtle tension hung in the air, a feeling that had nothing to do with medicine. Long night ahead, a voice, warm and familiar, pulled me from my thoughts. I turned and met the soft gaze of Nurse Emily Tran, the newest addition to our night staff. Her dark hair was tied up in a loose bun, a few rebellious strands framing her face. Her smile was calm, yet it sent an electric jolt through me. My heartbeat, usually steady under pressure, quickened for a reason far more dangerous than stress. Looks like it, I managed, trying to sound casual. You ready for another round of chaos? Emily chuckled softly. Only if you're leading the way. Side by side, we navigated the night. We attended to patients, our movements a synchronized dance. Between tasks, our eyes would meet, and in those fleeting moments, an unspoken connection began to form, like two planets slowly drawn into each other's orbit. Every time our hands brushed, a spark ignited invisible to everyone else, yet undeniably real to us. Around 2 a.m., a rare quiet settled over the hospital. The emergency room dimmed, and I found myself in the break room, lost in thought, nursing a cup of stale coffee. I'd noticed the way Emily looked at me, not with the typical admiration for a senior doctor, but with something deeper, something I hadn't allowed myself to feel in a very long time. Just then, Emily walked in, holding 2 cups of steaming hot chocolate. The coffee's awful, she said with a gentle smile. I thought you might like this instead. I took the cup, our fingers grazing for a moment longer than necessary. Thanks, I said, surprised. I didn't think anyone remembered I liked this. I pay attention, Emily replied, her voice dropping to a near whisper. Suddenly, the small room felt even smaller. The world beyond the hospital walls just faded away. I studied her face, the genuine warmth in her eyes, the slight tremble I noticed in her hand. Years of professionalism screamed at me to look away, to maintain my distance, but my heart flatly refused. You shouldn't, I finally managed to say, my voice barely audible. Shouldn't what? Make me feel like this. Emily stepped closer, so close I could feel the warmth of her breath. Maybe, she said, her voice soft but certain. I'm just reminding you what it feels like to be seen. Before I could find the words to respond, a jarring announcement broke the spell. Code blue, room for 1-2. Instantly, we sprang into action. The raw adrenaline of emergency medicine took over, pushing our budding emotions to the side. But even as I shouted orders and we worked to save a life, every glance we shared only made our connection burn brighter. When the chaos subsided and the patient was stable, we found ourselves alone again in the quiet hallway. Exhaustion hung heavy between us, but so did a potent mix of relief, gratitude, and a longing that was impossible to ignore. You did great in there, Emily said softly, breaking the silence. So did you, I replied, my voice a little raw. You always do. Emily offered a faint smile. You know, I didn't transfer to this hospital just for the job. I looked up, startled. Then why? Because I heard about you, she confessed. The brilliant doctor who never lets her heart show. I wanted to see if that was true. My lips parted, but no words came out. I took a step forward, closing the last bit of space between us. And what did you find out? I whispered. Emily's eyes shimmered under the dim hallway lights. That your heart's still beating, just waiting for the right person to notice. The silence that followed was electric, more charged than any defibrillator. The hospital hummed around us, a symphony of soft beeps and distant machines, but in that moment, it felt like time had stopped just for us. I slowly raised my hand, hesitating for just a second before cupping her cheek. Emily leaned in, and our lips met. It wasn't a wild, passionate kiss, but something far deeper, a slow, trembling promise whispered between 2 souls who had finally found warmth in the coldest hours of the night. It felt like coming home. When we finally pulled away, Emily rested her forehead against mine. Guess this shift wasn't so bad after all, she murmured, a smile in her voice. I smiled back, my own heart feeling lighter than it had in years. No, I agreed. It was perfect. And as the first rays of dawn crept through the hospital windows, painting the walls in a soft, hopeful glow, 2 hearts that had once walked separate paths finally aligned quietly, beautifully, right here on the same shift. Thank you so much for joining us for this story. If you enjoyed it, Please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more content like this. We love having you as part of our community. See you in the next video.